We also have a new all apps. So now we don't scroll vertically through the list of applications. We scroll page by page through the applications. Here again, we have 3 animations. It's all using the UI toolkit. So it used to be done in render script. Now it's using new APIs that we have on the view class and the new view animation framework. And you can quickly transition to your widget. So you don't go through a long press menu anymore. Widgets are just kind of like applications. So if I want to drop a widget on my home screen, I just don't press it, drop it here. We also improve folders. Folders is a feature that we had since Android 1.0. It was a little hard they were a little hard to use. So now you can rename them in just one tap. It used to be a long press on some unknown part of the screen. You can reorganize the content of your folder. Again, we have nice animations thanks to the new framework. And if you want to create a folder, it's extremely simple. You just drop an icon on top of another one, and then you just copy the name. We also introduced a dock at the bottom. You can also create folders in the dock. Let's see. There you go. You can put all the folders in the dock. So the home screen is just getting more flexible, a little more powerful, easier to use, and we kept the UI simple. And Chet will show you the new notification system.
So there's a couple other elements that are maybe not obvious from just looking at the screen. One is recent apps. So we can pop up recent apps and see thumbnails. So these are screenshots taken of the applications while they're running, so you can easily visually see, oh yeah, that's the application I was in, the view I was in.
And again, that's a feature that has always been in Android, but it used to be a long press on the home key. And here now we have a visual cue on screen. It's not a long press anymore, just one tap. You see it on screen all the time. So this is something that our UX team has been hard at work on for ICS. They try to get rid of all those long presses and hard to use manipulations that we had, and they make everything a lot simpler.
There's also a new usage paradigm, which I say because paradigm's a good word to use in a presentation.
Makes you smart.
That's what I'm going for. Of swiping to get rid of items. So we see this both in the recent apps as well as the notifications that work in. So if we don't actually want to return to that application, we want to remove it from recents, we can simply swipe it away and get rid of it.
And this actually kills the application, so you don't have to go to the settings anymore, go to manage applications, find the application tree for stuff. And I know it makes you happy, I still don't understand why.
Yay, killing applications. Yay. Notifications live in a shade that you pull down from the top. So we see the system bar up at the top. So the system bar on phones got split as opposed to Honeycomb, where we had all the standard home and back buttons on the left and then notifications and the other system information on the right. Now that information is split. So we've got what used to be the hard buttons down at the bottom, and then we have the notification information, the other status information up at the top. So we can pull down the shade here, nice little animation there. We can see the notifications that are waiting for us. Again, we have this swipe thing that we can get rid of these things if we no longer want to see them anymore, or we can close them all by simply tapping the X button. There's an interesting UI thing there where it actually swiped the things out to the right, which is sort of a way of teaching you how to use the device at the same time as you're using it. So nothing is, the mystery of, oh, well, if I long press on this area of the screen, then I can change the following setting.
But we also have the more advanced notifications from Honeycomb. So if I start playing music, for instance, let's see, so that's the new music player. And you can see one of those persistent notifications up there, so that's the new music notification. And you can have controls in the notification. So here you can go to the next song, or you can stop playing, or you can dismiss the notification altogether. This is an API open to every application. The music application that I just showed you is what we call unbundled. So it uses only APIs from the SDK. So anything it does, you can also do.
And also when you play music, I don't know if you're going to demo this later, but you can actually have the music controls available on the lock screen. So both the camera as well as the music controls are things that maybe you want to use, without going through the whole UI of getting into your phone. You just want access to your music from this device that you're carrying around in your pocket. So much easier to get to.
And of course, this only works if you don't have, no, it works if you have a pin or a pattern, actually. Yeah, it works all the time, that's pretty cool. What does work only if you don't have a pin code or a pattern to secure the lock screen. You can access your notifications from the lock screen, so you don't have to unlock your phone anymore. Of course, we do that only if you don't have a secure lock screen, because obviously you can access important information like your emails and your IMs. And let's dismiss that. Now let's look at some of the applications. I'm going to start with the web browser. So the web browser is actually really, really nice to use on ICS. And I'll start with one of my favorite features in the web browser. So there are many websites I go to with my phone, and I hate it when they show me the stupid mobile version of the website. I have a really powerful phone, I have a big screen, I don't want to see the mobile version of the website. So now we have a feature in the menu here where you can request the desktop version of the website. So you don't have to find the link at the bottom, you don't have to do tricky things with the user agent of the browser, and hopefully the Wi-Fi will work. There you go. So this is the New York Times, this is the full browser experience, and as you can see,
Your eyes are way better than mine.
okay, so it actually looks good on the device. This is rescaled on the screen. This is all hardware accelerated, so if I scroll, it's very smooth. We use a system of tiles. If you have used an Android tablet, you will be familiar with the way it works, but it feels a lot nicer. We have a better tabs UI, so you can see up to 16 tabs. And same thing here, if you want to dismiss a tab, you can just swipe it to the right. Again, you have access to your bookmarks. So I mentioned that before, but you can synchronize your bookmarks with Chrome. So if you use Chrome on your desktop and you enable bookmark synchronization, you will get all your bookmarks on your phone. Extremely useful.
So the calendar got some enhancements to make it much easier to use. So it's very quick to switch between these different views. So we're looking at the week view. Let's go into the day view and see what's going on today. So we had an A/B check. We have this keynote. We should really try to make that. I'll take away the event there. If you have a lot of events, sometimes it's really hard to actually read your calendar, and then you have to go into the individual events. We have a pinch zoom feature in calendar now that makes it much easier to see what's actually going on with your day. And you can also swipe very easily between the days of your week or the weeks of your month. So it's much easier and more quick to access the information that you need in the calendar.
So the swipe is also becoming a universal gesture on Android. You've seen on the launcher, you swipe between your workspaces. When you open the list of all applications, you swipe between the pages. In calendar, you swipe between the days. And you will see that in Gmail, you swipe between emails. We try to use that gesture everywhere. We have a new API for that called the View Pager that's available as a separate library that you can use in your applications today. You don't have to run on ICS for that. That lets you build that kind of UI in your application easily. One of my favorite apps, the camera application. So the Galaxy Nexus is a really nice device that makes really good photos. One of the cool features is what we call the zero shutter lag. So we can take pictures really quickly. Well, of course, with the flash, it's a little slower, but you can see every time I'm taking a picture, like
Disable the flash.
yeah, fine. But anyway, we also have a new zoom feature, so it's directly on screen. You can zoom in and out, and you can see we detect faces to do focus. It actually works really well with an audience. That's nice. I usually use a picture of me and my wife on my desk to picture that. We also have different modes. So we have a panorama mode. Let's see if we can make it work. Yeah, unfortunately, it won't rotate on the projector. But you just
Would
press.
everybody please go like this?
You just press the button and then you slowly swipe across the scene. Let's see if it works.
Stay very still.
It's hard. Almost. I'm running out of room. There we go. And boom, I have a panorama. So now it's creating a higher resolution version of the panorama. And that's all you have to do. Then it's in your gallery. You can mail it, share it, tweet it, Facebook it, Google Plus it, whatever you guys do these days. We have a really nice video camera, so that particular device can do 1080p. And as you can see on screen, it's turn the head again. While you're recording a video, you can just tap the screen to take a photo. So if there's a particular frame you're interested in, there's some action going on, you can capture a photo during the video. It's really nice. And we have a bunch of visual effects that you can apply to the videos. Let's see, where are they? There we go. So some of them are rather silly. For instance, let's give Chet you guys. There you go. You look so much better this way. So there's a bunch of fun, and again, sorry for the UI, but there's a bunch of fun effects. So you can squeeze, you can create a big mouth, small mouth, big nose. I don't need that one. Small eyes. You can also replace the background, so you can replace the background with any picture you want, or also a video. And we have we have 3 pre-built scenes, so you can be in space. You can have a nice sunset or a disco ball. And what's interesting is that those effects are also available when you do video chat using Google Talk. We're not going to demo that, but you can also use them there.
It's also interesting to note that these are not just features of this particular camera. Some of the features are enabled by this particular camera, but it's capabilities of the system that are also exposed to applications that run. So if the camera has capabilities for doing zero shutter lag or whatever, then the applications can take advantage of that for particular effects that they
We also have a really cool new feature. You can select the part of the scene where you want to put the focus. So it's really nice when you're doing close-ups. And we're going to take a picture of that dirty keyboard. That's your laptop, Chet, right? And then when you take a picture, you can jump directly to the gallery. And from there, we have a new edit menu where you can apply visual effects to your picture. So you can...
de-dandruff.
We don't have that one. So you can make the shadows, shadower. You can change the brightness. You have a smart autofix. You can apply like fancy hipster effect, like this one. Change the saturation. It's very similar to what you can find in a lot of photo applications these days. You can also make faces glow. I don't know why, but you can. Rotate the picture, sharpen it. It's a very nice tool. It's very easy. You also have an undo redo system, so anything you apply is non-destructive until you save the picture. It's a nice way when you take a photo to just make it better, like just before you send it by email to a friend or your family.
Actually, photos got easier to interact with as well. I found once I started using Google+, it has a way of syncing the photos automatically, so you no longer have to sort of manually share these things that just magically appear in your account later. Which makes it a little easier to manage.
You also have access to that feature from the gallery, so if you open a photo from your gallery, you can go edit that photo right here. And the edited version will be saved alongside the original photo, so you don't lose your original work. The gallery also has an integration with Google+, so for instance here I'm logged in to my Google+ account, and you can see all the photos I've put on Google+. And you can see there's a little Picasso icon in the bottom corner of every album that shows that it's coming from the web. So if you want to quickly change your wallpaper, you can just grab it from your Picasso account instead of plugging the phone to your computer, copying the photo on the phone, and so on. A lot easier. We also have different views for your albums. You can sort your photos by location, by time. You can, especially on the web, like with Picasso, you can put tags on faces, and we'll sort all the pictures by the different people you have.
Email got various little improvements here. So there's, again, the swiping feature that we can see. So we can click on a message, but then if we didn't want to go back to the header box and then back into the message content, we can simply swipe between the different messages in the account. And you can see the action bar at work here, so you can switch between your accounts, and then the split action bar, one of the changes in ICS. So now we have the actual navigation elements up at the top, so I can switch between the accounts there, go back to the head. And then we've got the actual actions we can perform, as well as the overflow menu on the right here. If there was anything else about Gmail.
Yeah. So one of the interesting features of ICS as well is the new dictation system. So when you want to compose an email, we already had speech to text, but it was pretty slow because you had to speech an entire sentence, and you had to wait for the sentence to be sent to the server and the result back. So now we're trying to do that in real time. So hopefully if the Wi-Fi network is fast enough, it will work. It also works with the French accent. That's awesome. Hi, how are you doing?
Okay. Sort of works with the French accent.
Yeah, it doesn't work with your American.
Yeah. It was written by French engineers.
And then, stop laughing, you make the thing go bonkers. And then you can correct the dictation. So you can click the words and, it has different ways of interpreting what you said. So you can quickly fix the text that was written for you. We also have now a spell checker. There we go. So when there's a red underline on a word, you can just tap on it, and then you can automatically correct it from there, or you can add it to the dictionary. Adding words to the dictionary used to be a lot harder, and we made that better. And the keyboard overall is a lot nicer. It responds faster to your touch. It's nicer to use, especially on a device with such a big screen. And Gmail also improved a little bit the way the threaded the threaded conversations work, and of course you don't have any of those. But it's more similar to what you see in the Gmail web UI. Gmail, Google Maps. Google Maps has not changed much, but it looks awesome on this device. I don't know if many of you use it or know about this feature, but you can still do the zoom. You have the vector maps. You can tilt to get the 3D buildings. Again, it doesn't look really great on that screen because of the resizing. And one of the new labs feature is, let's see if I can enable it. So if you go to settings, you go to labs, you can enable pre-cache map area, and then all you do is go back to the map, long press anywhere on the map you want to cache, you click on it, and then here you can click pre-cache. That will cache the 10 miles around the point where you long pressed, and that will be available offline. So for instance, Chet and I did that yesterday because we're going to Europe next week for another conference. We're not going to have data service there, so we pre-cached the whole city so we can find our way back to our hotel.
Unfortunately, Europe is actually larger than 10 miles.
Yeah, it's 12 miles. We also have the new Market UI. You may be familiar with it. Once again, it shows this new swipe gesture. So when you want to swipe between the different views, the network works. Okay, let's go to those. So you can swipe between the different categories. So if you want to navigate between the top free applications, the top paid applications, the top staff, the top peaks, the top whatnot, you just swipe, and the network is not covering.
And there's more media capabilities. So Market sort of morphed in the last year to offer more than simply applications. So you've also got access to books that you can then read in the Google Books application, or movies that you can watch, you can rent from Market. So it's sort of an all-encompassing Market for all the stuff, all the content that you might want to have on your device. And
just to make you jealous, like watching 720p movies from Market on the device is really awesome. It's really good.
So what's the name of that?
Oh, sorry, it's the Galaxy Nexus. Okay. Yeah, you don't have one. I have several.
Once again,
I think
I'll have
more.
a beer tonight. I'll buy.
You have to have two, because then you can put your stereo glasses on and then watch 720p.
I'm surprised we got the door though.
I have devices. Music, it's very similar experience to what you can get today. That's integration with Google Music, so you can stream your music from your Google account. That won't rotate, that we have fancy 3D views when you rotate the screen. Once again, we have the swipe to switch between different views. So in any app, like when you see those tabs at the top, you can start swiping to switch between the tabs. You don't have to go up there and scroll the tabs. You can also do that, but
I should point out too, just in the middle of this, if you're confused why there's this white dot bouncing on the screen, you would not have that. That's something we enabled so you can tell where his fingers are on the screen, because otherwise it's really confusing when the UI changes.
No, it's a new feature. We really want you to know where your finger is.
I could just see the tweets coming.
We have a much improved contacts application. Again, very clean UI. So this is the ICS theme. We have tabs, so we can swipe between the different views. Here you can see all the contacts I have on Google+. This is very similar to what you had before, just looks nicer. We have the big pictures coming from Google+. We have high-res pictures.